I must put a question mark on the goalkeeper there, Bain. He doesn't expect that shot, which is quite amazing.
Sure.
But nevertheless, great strike.
Yeah. Aki's back on track, of course, Billy. What about Gary Harkins, though? A strange red card in the end. He got booked early on. This was a justified yellow, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's not like Gary Harkins. I had him at Dundee before, and I don't think Gary will complain about the yellow card there.
But his second comes when he's been subbed off.
This tells me a lot about Aki's when Jason Scotland, who I was with at Dundee United, like jumping into challenges like that. He doesn't seem to do much. They'll say aggressive nature, but he'll be gutted. Paul Hartley losing a player. We spoke about it a couple of weeks ago about Logan for Aberdeen, losing him in the tunnel. Paul Hartley loses one of his top performers, I have to say, for the next game. It's not the way you want to lose your players.
Absolutely. I mean,
he's not usually like that, I have to say. Big James, he's not got that in him.
But as Billy says, Mixu, Gary Harkins now unavailable for the match next weekend against Partick Thistle. That's a big blow for Dundee, who are already struggling in terms of personnel.
And him being on the substitutes bench, you know, and getting involved from there. It is disappointing, but you know, that was interesting. Paul Hartley saying that they started the game poorly, but whenever you play against Hamilton, they've got that spirit. They've got that energy, energy and that aggression. You know, getting the tackles. There's no space. Difficult to pass the ball against them. So you know, all credit to Hamilton. You know, the way they got stuck in.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, after a sticky October, St Johnstone had won 4 of their last 5 games. Another win at Rugby Park yesterday would see them leapfrog Kilmarnock into the top 6. Commentary on this one comes from Brian McLaughlin.
Kilmarnock boss Alan Johnston makes just one change from the side that drew with Partick Thistle. Robbie Muirhead returns to the starting 11, Rory McKenzie on the bench. Not surprisingly, Tommy Wright sticks by the same 11 that beat St Mirren last week. James McFadden was a doubt, but he does start. Connolly, a long free kick into the St Johnstone box. Here's an early chance. What a chance that was. It was Robbie Muirhead with a shot. Terrific save by Alan Magennis. Food for thought though for Tommy Wright early on. Since a decent run here at Rugby Park, unbeaten against Kilmarnock on their travels since 2010. And here's Wotherspoon, wonderful play. McFadden! Well, that ball was destined for the bottom corner. Wonderful play by David Wotherspoon. McFadden with the first time volley. It was cleared away by Connolly. Wotherspoon with the corner. McFadden with a flick. Well, that's the closest we've come to a goal so far. James McFadden easing his way away from Jamie Hamill. His left foot flick though, just missing the goal. Craig Samson's clearance been certainly caught in the wind. Kilmarnock do clear the ball. There's McKenzie through to Muirhead, who lobs the ball forward. Obadeyi chases in and beats Magennis to the ball, cuts it back surely for Magennis. Here's McKenzie and he fires over. What a chance that was though. It was Muirhead that played the ball through. It's a mix-up in the heart of the Saints' defence. Fraser Wright and Alan Magennis both missing out. Obadeyi cut the ball back. Magennis would surely have scored. It came to McKenzie and he fired over. Hamill loses out to Croft. And Davidson, he flicks the ball through to Brian Graham. There's a chance here for St Johnstone. O'Halloran bearing down a goal. Darryl Westlake goes in. Was that a penalty? Yes, says referee Don Robertson. And there could be trouble here for the Killie youngster. Will it be yellow or red? It's a penalty in any case. O'Halloran and Graham both arguing as who will take it. It's a yellow card for Darryl Westlake. Good play by O'Halloran inside the box. The youngster just couldn't get a touch on the ball. But Brian Graham to take it. He scores. He scored the winner against Kilmarnock in the League Cup earlier this season. That's his 5th goal of the campaign, sending Samson the wrong way. And Saints in front with just 8 minutes left.
We created enough opportunities to win the game or at least get a draw. Just that final pass, and the goalie obviously put off a couple of really good saves as well.
Didn't start the game particularly well, and that's when the back four and Al had to be, on their mettle, and we grew into the game, created opportunities in the first half, and I think second half we controlled large parts of it and looked the most likely to win the game, and that turned out to be the case.
There wasn't much between the two teams. We created enough chances to win the game. We played reasonably well, but we've got to convert games like this into wins.
Mixu, if you were still the Kilmarnock manager, would you be having a word with your defender, Darryl Westlake, or would you be tapping on the referee's door?
Have a chat with my defender, because well, first of all, he goes too tight there, sells himself, and then he doesn't need to tackle. He gets shoulder to shoulder. Just keep him there. In a narrow angle, goalkeeper will save if he gets a shot in. So that is a young defender's mistake there. But
especially against a Halloran's pace as well.
At the time, the match, I was there, and I thought that he got enough of the ball. You can see he reaches out quite well, but he gets the player. Not enough of the ball, so it was a penalty.
A good decision by referee Don Roberts.
It was a good decision.
And eventually Brian Graham won the tussle over who's going to take the kick. Halloran fancied it, didn't he, Billy?
He had to score it though. He had to score it, but usually he does take the penalties, Graham, so he steps up, slots it, but wonder what a Halloran would have been saying if he had missed it. But, he's taken the job, he's designated and he's stuck it away. Who can argue?
Absolutely. Great to see flicks and tricks from James McFadden as well, in terms of this back flick from a corner. There was a lot of debate whether McFadden would actually play this match. He was worried about getting an injury on the plastic pitch. What's your view on plastic pitches, Mixu? Do you think we will see more of them in the Premiership in the future?
Whether you like them or not, I think they will come.
Yeah.
Because, Northern Europe, the weather, the muddy pitches and the rock-hard pitches, it's, AstroTurf is always there.
Do they cause more injuries?
No, they don't. Maybe the old ones, the old carpet, Dodgy and I, we played on.
Speak for yourself.
They do, but not the latest ones. They're fantastic. They are almost equal to the best grass of the top stadiums.
Do you agree, Billy?
Yeah, the problem is if you switch surfaces, go from grass to the new artificial surface, but I would still rather have a beautiful grass pitch than an artificial, but the new ones are excellent.
OK, all that leaves the Premiership table looking like this evening. Celtic have now opened up a 6-point gap at the top after victory over St Mirren. Caley Thistle stays second despite defeat to Partick Thistle. Aberdeen now level on points with Dundee United, and Aki's just a point behind. An 8-point gap now between Partick Thistle and the bottom three. St Mirren replace Ross County at the foot of the table. And that is it for the Premiership. Time now to turn our attention to the den of intrigue that is the Championship.